Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about how bad my pregnancy was, like bad. For those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with Hyperemesis Gravidarum. Anywho, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not, and also hit the little bell button below. That way that you are notified every single time I post videos. Other than that, yeah, let's get started. Alright y'all, so if you don't know what Hyperemesis Gravidarum is, so Hyperemesis Gravidarum is a severe type of nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. Rarely morning sickness is so severe that it's classified as Hyperemesis Gravidarum. Symptoms include severe nausea and feeling faint or dizzy when standing. It can also cause persistent vomiting, which can lead to dehydration. This condition can require hospitalization and treatment with IV fluids and anti-nausea medication. I'm reading it on my iPad. So yeah, I had all of that. Let's take it back. So we didn't find out that we were expecting until we came back from our trip back home to seeing family and friends in San Antonio. And I'm a very irregular person when it comes to having my period. Like, I'm very irregular, you know? Some women are, some women are not. But yeah, mind you, we had got off of birth control like 2 months before, like in January, December, I believe. So yeah, and it was like a 2-week vacation that we had in San Antonio, and it wasn't up until like the last 2 days that I started feeling like just funny, you know? Mind you, in my head, I'm like, could I or could I not, you know? Like, my grandma had suspected only because I had mentioned to her that like my breasts were hurting and stuff, you know? And she had also like I had also mentioned it to my mom, and my mom was like, you know? So yeah, that happens. And you know, fast forward, we end up going to this like Mexican place to go eat before she and my grandma dropped me off to the airport with Alec. So that happens, and it's like during the last 10 minutes of landing to Salt Lake City, I'm like bad nauseous, bad nauseous. And I told Alec, I'm like, dude, I need to get off right now or I'm gonna throw up everywhere. That happens. We finally get picked up by his friend, you know. I held it in like as much as I could, and we ended up going home to pick up food and also pick up groceries, you know, because I mean, we were gone for 2 weeks, you know. We do that. It's like nothing serious up until the next day. Like, again, I started feeling like nauseous, dude. Even to the point where I was like, dude, I feel like throwing up and I don't want to throw up, you know? Like, nobody likes to throw up. So he goes to CVS to get us like a test and stuff, and I'm like texting my mom about this. I'm like, I'm feeling weird still. And she's like, yeah, go and take that test. Well, I take it. He's like downstairs here like making breakfast, and like I just sat there, and then like it just pops up and it says, yeah, like, you know, like it says pregnant and stuff. I come down and I told her, dude, the moment I come down, like he was making eggs like that, just like set me off. Like, it was just so bad. Like, I was like, oh hell no. So that happens, you know. We text his mom. Like, my mother-in-law is an RN, so we like call her and stuff and tell her like, yo, like this is saying this, and my mom, and like they're hyped, you know. And my mother-in-law is like, y'all should go to the hospital right now, or the clinic, and just like, even if y'all gotta make it sound like a little bit more dramatic, you know, like, oh, I've been throwing up and this and that, because we kind of just wanted to go to like kind of trick them into like take a urine test, because like every time you do go, like they'll ask you, are you pregnant or not, and they'll have you like take a urine test and all. So we just wanted them to take that way that, oh, you know, to see if I am. So we go, and they're like, hey, are you pregnant or anything like that? And I'm like, I don't know. So they take my vitals or whatever and stuff, and I take the test and they're like, yeah. He's like, we detected a positive pregnancy of about like 3-ish, 4-ish weeks. And I'm like, I'm like, bro. And it was funny because the doctor was like, before he gets out the room, it was like a different doctor. Before he gets out the room, he's like, well, congratulations, guys. And he's like, well, was this planned? And we're like, yes, yes. And I was just like, you know, like once you do, you get that confirmation that's like, yeah, you know, it was just like, oh, stop, like, this is for real. So anywho, that happens, right? And we go home, you know, fast forward. It's time for me to go back to work, or to start work. Like I had just mentioned, I had got hired at Nike, you know, and they were like, you can start on a Wednesday when you come back. I had started working at Nike towards the end of April, and I only lasted working there up until May. Mind you, like, just real quick, I didn't even give my 2-week notice. I stopped showing up. And I know that might sound like, to all of you, like super unprofessional, but y'all, I couldn't do it anymore. And by that is like, I could not do it anymore because I was severely hungry, I was dehydrated, I was losing weight. Like every single day that I would brush my teeth before going to work, like I'm the type where, like, if I'm gonna brush my teeth, I'm going all the way in the back of my throat to get like the saliva from the night before and stuff that's just sitting there from like when you were asleep, and like, just, you know, yeah, because that's what causes bad breath, right? Every single time I would throw up, every single time. And it's just like, before all of that, like I lasted only a little bit working like a whole shift, only because I didn't know that I had this, you know? I didn't know that I had this. And it's like, you can just work the changing room. The changing room was like, a little room almost. And at a part, you know, like right in the middle before of like me leaving, where it's like my hyperemesis is up here, you know? So every single day I was just hungry and hungry and hungry, and throwing up in the restroom. Like I could not even brush my teeth because, or I'd have to brush them like real hard right here, but if I'm gonna brush my tongue, like I have to do it like slow. Every single time I threw up, and stomach acid was coming out all the time. It was just like yellow stuff coming out, you know, and that's just stomach acid, you know. The manager at this point was like, he would just tell one of the part-timer would tell me, he's like, hey, so-and-so said that you can leave at like 12, and it was already like 10 something, you know. I didn't know how to explain what was going on with me because I did not know that I have that, you know. So fast forward, I stopped showing up because I'm just, again, severely throwing up. I'm talking about, like, y'all might think, oh, like she probably threw up like 4 times. No. I threw up from the morning till I went to bed. I had to get up from bed to go throw up. And I started developing like side effects. I started developing like these like little white spots in my tongue. I actually have like baggy eyes, but when I tell you that I look like I was just from The Walking Dead, like that's just how serious it was. And yeah, I never went to work with like makeup or anything. The last time I ever went to work with like makeup was on my birthday, but that's because I wasn't feeling anything yet, because I didn't know about this until later, that I was, you know, even pregnant. Yeah, that happens. And I never showed up anymore. I didn't show up anymore. I was hospitalized and stuff, and I was just strapped in bed. Literally just like in bed all the time. I was literally just in bed all the time. Mind you, the way that I thought this was gonna go was oh, you know, I'm gonna go to the gym and be a fit mom even if I'm looking all pregnant and stuff. No. Dude, every single time, it was only my husband that would go to the gym and then to work, and I was just in bed like this all the time. I couldn't breathe. I was dehydrated. I was throwing up every single time, throwing up saliva, my own saliva, water, anything liquid, anything food. So I would not eat food, because can you imagine like throwing up, like let's say if I ate like maybe beans, rice and something, that might just come out of my nose, and because I've had it happen to me before. Y'all, there was this occasion where I like went to the store real quick to go just buy a few groceries. Mind you, I'm still not eating because I cannot hold food. You know, if you have hyperemesis, like you cannot hold food, you know. Y'all, he brings me these like little microwave like pasta thingies with like broccoli and stuff, and like I kind of in a way was able to like maintain it. Y'all, tell me why. In my restroom, I have my prenatal pills. Y'all, I had just ate. As soon as I was done eating, because sometimes I would forget to take my prenatal pills, only because, like, if you have hyperemesis, like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but your brain is just not there. It's not there. So I went ahead and I was like, dang it, like I should have like ate it first and then ate. No, I did the opposite. As soon as I was done eating, I go and get a prenatal pill. I eat it. Y'all, oh my God. I lay down in bed. I got up. I run to the toilet and I throw up so hard. Chicken Alfredo, like broccoli, and it comes out through my nose and my mouth. Oh my God, y'all. Y'all, like I had to keep blowing my nose non-stop just to get all that food out of here. And like, oh my God, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it is bothering me so bad. That happens. I couldn't do it anymore. Fast forward, y'all. We finally go to our doctor's appointment because it's getting worse. I'm not working anymore. I don't know what is going on. I'm hungry all the time. I'm throwing up all the time. I have migraines. I'm already getting like these like little white circle things where it looks like my tongue is tearing apart in my mouth. Y'all, like as bad as it sounds, like I could not even shower. Like TMI, sometimes I would not shower like for 2 days only because I'm somebody where I shower with hot water, and it's like every time I was in the shower I would just like that, standing up and stuff, because I could not breathe. Like it was just because I'm already sick. There's like no nutrients in my stomach, none of that. Like I feel like I'm literally going to faint. I would feel so dizzy. Y'all, believe it or not, sometimes I would have to get out of the shower to sit down in the toilet to catch my breath like that, or if not, open the door and shower. It was really hard. It was like really hard, you know. Sometimes it would just only be easy when my husband was there, only because he had to go to work, you know. It wasn't up until like a little bit later-ish when like family had to like help, you know. So anyways, you know, we go to our appointment. I know I'm everywhere, I'm sorry. We go to our appointment and it's like, you know, my doctor, she knows, you know. So she's like, every time we would go to the doctor, they have you back and they would pump my arm and stand me up in the weight scale. Like in the weight scale, it would show up that I'm like 127 pounds, and they're like, you know, maybe normal weight for me should have been like maybe like 145, 140 or whatever, but they're like, you know, they didn't say anything, but they would write it down. It wasn't up until I got called back to go sit down now with my doctor when she was done with her other patients. She sat down and she was like, girl, she's like, you have hyperemesis. And I was like, yo, like, I knew it. But this is the thing, I didn't know that what Hyperemesis Gravidarum was up until just, there was this one random night where I looked up, why do I keep throwing up? Or what is throwing up yellow stuff? Like, I didn't know what it was until they showed this thing that said Hyperemesis Gravidarum, and I'm reading it and it's like, this is me. Everything here is me. Y'all, if you follow me on social media and all that, or if you just know me, like, I did not post on Instagram or anything for like a good while, for like a good minute, you know? And this was like the reason why. I'm just eating. And I'm like, I knew it. I'm like, I looked it up and stuff, and I told her about it. She was like, girl, she's like, you have Hyperemesis Gravidarum. And mind you, during this time, like, dark, I look all chupada from the face. Like, I just, like, my hair had like no color. Like, y'all, like, sometimes I wouldn't even brush my hair. That's how bad it is. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I did not have any arm strength to brush my hair anymore. Like, oh my god. It's to the point, she's like, if we do not get any food in your system, she's like, you could potentially lose her. You know, and you know, I started crying, you know. I started crying because it's not something that I was doing purposely. And Alec didn't know what was going on. He just thought like she doesn't want to eat or something. Like, no, I wanted to eat, you know. Like, y'all, longest I had ever gone without eating any of, like, just nothing that I've ever wanted. No McDonald's, no nothing, Jack in the Box, nothing. So she says that, and I'm like tearing up, you know. She's like, if we do not get any food down your system, any little food, any little liquid that you get into your stomach, she was like, your stomach will take those nutrients away, or just any of that, and she will not get any of it, and she could possibly, you know, like that, you know, like die and stuff, you know. So again, I'm crying and all, and she's like, we either will have to put down a tube. She's like, we'll either have to put like a tube down your throat or through your nose. And again, I'm tearing up because I mean, I don't want that, and I'm like, I'm not doing this purposely. Like, why would I want to harm my child, you know? So she goes out, and then she comes back, and she like, we have to get food down your system. So we leave home, and you know, we're just talking about all of this, you know. Right when I got like to bed, you know, to relax, not the doctor, but like the ladies at the doctors and stuff, they called. They're like, you need to come like right now and stay overnight at the hospital, because your potassium levels and your iron levels and something else I forgot, they are like so low. They're like, if you don't come right now or anytime soon, they're like, you could potentially have a heart attack. Oh, what? I was like, y'all, I was tripping. I'm like, what do you mean a heart attack? Man, I was just more than anything glad that I had taken a shower. So I had got dressed up, you know, like I put on some sweats, my Crocs, like put my hair up and all. Alec had got a little duffel bag, and you know, he put his stuff in there, our stuff, and we go to the hospital. Who was put on a gown, had me on IV, and they had me eating all the time. They told me, they were like, we just want you to get food down your system. So when we found out that I had hyperemesis, our doctor, she had prescribed us like so many so many pills to take, AM, PM, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And she had also told Alec to buy me a pack of these Boost chocolate shakes. Their calories are high. They're like 300 something calories because I needed to gain some weight, you know? I'm 127 dropping down to 125. You know, like I'm looking like I'm about to disappear basically. And like I said, this was so severe. Like I cannot explain to you how awful it is to throw up every single day. Like my mom's prima, she works with like elder people, and like she had told my mom, she's like, hey, I work with, you know, people that like have cancer, and like they wear these little bands, these little wristbands that, you know, like it kind of stops them from feeling so nauseous. So my mom sends me a picture, and Alec gets some bands like that from Walgreens or CVS that are similar to it, and yo, I had them on the whole time, all the time. They were like these gray bands with like something, a little white ball that was, I guess, for right here. And when I had them on, I barely felt it, but oh my god, I felt sick all the time. But it would tame it down a little bit, just a little bit, you know. After a while it didn't work, but I mean, that's another thing. If you have hyperemesis, or if you know anybody that has it, I'd say check it out. But yeah, anywho, so we're at the hospital, and what is it, they do that, and we leave the next day. You know, they just had me under, like they were just supervising me the whole night, and surprisingly I didn't throw up like that whole night. But I ate chicken noodle soup, I remember, 2 little sandwiches, an ice cream, and the Boost chocolate shake. Like all they wanted was for me to just keep ordering from the cafeteria, and I did, you know. But in all those pictures, you will see how gray and how pale, how dark my eyes are, how just no light is in my hair anymore. Like they didn't look like this, you know, where like my hair looks all healthy and dark. No, dude, like I just look sad, like bad. Mind you, a woman is pregnant for 9 months, you know. That's 3, 6, 9, that's 3 trimesters. I'm sick for the first one, which is 3 months, and the second one, which is 3 months. That's 6. Could you imagine going through what I went through for 6 months? Because my hyperemesis did not leave up until the end of 2nd trimester. That's why during my 3rd trimester, like, oh, y'all have seen pictures of like me looking more fuller and stuff during like my baby shower. It's awful. And like I said, even Alec was like, you look very different, you know. Like all my clothes that I had, like it was so big. It was so big on me. Every other week with Alec to go get IV all the time. Like we would be there for like 3 hours almost with a bag this big full of like IV, just sitting right there. Like my arm was so cold because IV is so cold. Like, or just laying in a room and like the TV's on and he's just right there on his phone, you know, and he's like tired because like, I mean, it's a chair that you're just sitting forever. I'm on the bed and I'm just like this, changing through channels, getting IV'd, you know, getting checked on and stuff. I've had like I said, hospital send somebody, or you know, like have somebody come and put fluid on me at the house. Like they had brought like all these boxes, all these bags, the thingy to put the IV and stuff, all these needles. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. And like I said, all of this did not finish up until the end of 2nd trimester. And I do apologize if I'm all over the place with like different little stories and scenarios. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot if you have this, you know. But more than anything, I could not eat. I threw up every single day. morning, night, everything. The only people that I do remember checking up on me a lot were mine and Alex's good friends, Jen and Des. They would always like text me, hey, how are you, have you ate and stuff, you know, or even when it was time to like have our daughter, both of them texting us, you know, good luck, you know, y'all got this, all that. But I mean, it was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. That's why I never posted on my story like a picture of me, because I just didn't look well. I looked sick. I looked like somebody that was like getting ready to die. That's how bad it was. And you know, more than anything, like I said, like, you can't choose whether if you have it or not. It did later on get a little bit easier when I started taking like all those pills that our doctor prescribed us, and you know, the boost shakes and stuff. And like I said afterwards, like, hey, you know, I started eating a little bit of like, you know, even spicy stuff little by little, but it was a lot. It was a lot. And like I said, my heart goes out to people that have had hyperemesis gravidarum or are experiencing it, because I know exactly what that feels like. You know, you feel like crap. You feel like you are getting ready to die, you know. But if I was able to do it, you can do it too, you know. Like, I had to buy stuff to like really scrub the toilet, because it was starting to leave like a ring. I was just non-stop throwing up. Like, I'm being for real. Like, y'all might think that she probably threw up like 3 times. No, I threw up all the time. Like, we even rarely went out because I can't even eat, you know. I couldn't eat. I only went one time to the gym with him. You know, my mom was like, try to go walk, and you know, or get on the little treadmill, and even if it's at a speed of 1, just go. I went and I wanted to die in the treadmill. I was like looking around, like, it was to the point where I had somebody look at me like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you, you know? Because I was sitting in the Stairmaster like this next to Alec while he was like walking in the Stairmaster, you know? And I just couldn't anymore. I don't even know how I pulled through, but I pretty much just had to go through it. Like, I mean, you're pregnant, you know, like, you have to go through it. And it sucked a lot, because in the back of my mind, you know, I'm over here expecting for the gym, you know, we're gonna be cool, this is gonna be an easy process. No, it really wasn't. It was more of like, every single time I went to the clinic to go get checked out and stand up on the scale, it was just like my numbers just going down on how much I weigh, because it's constant stomach acid that's coming out of me. Everything that I would eat coming out of me, you know. And it would suck, because it's just like, I had Alec bring one time McDonald's, and well, for breakfast before we had left to go to our appointment. And I really didn't want to say no, because I really was craving some McDonald's. Like, that's how bad it makes me even feel bad right now. Like, it really does make me feel sad right now, because it's like, he would bring like the breakfast McDonald's, and you know, he brought me like a blue Powerade, and it's like, I threw up like the whole egg, sausage, hash brown, and like the Powerade and stuff, and it was a mess. It was a mess, man. Like, it was pretty sad, you know. But other than that, like, after hyperemesis had went away from me towards the end of 2nd trimester, I was eating, I was gaining weight, I was, you know, walking and stuff. Like, I mean, I was good, you know, I was good. But this definitely was like a wow, you know, like, I didn't know that this was a thing, or people can go through this, you know. So that's why I say, like, my heart does go out to people that have had this or have this right now. because you're either in bed, you have migraines, like oh my god, I had migraines a lot. You look like you're not even taking care of yourself, you know, like you look like you're not even taking care of yourself, and that's not even it. You're just sick, you know, you're sick, you have this, you know. And yeah, I wanted to faint and pass out when I was taking hot showers. I wanted to not even brush my hair. Sometimes I even waited till night or whatever and stuff to just brush my teeth, because every single time I would brush my teeth, I would know the moment I gag, like I'm throwing up. And it got to the point, like I said, honestly, it got to the point where as soon as I felt the throwing up coming, like I would just turn around and I would just like, I wouldn't care. Like I didn't feel anything anymore. Like I guess I was just used to like, I'm gonna throw up, whatever, you know. And yeah, feeling it was just something where it's like, you know, you have it and you're extremely weak. You are hungry all the time. You're starving all the time. You can't really eat because you throw up. And if you do eat, you throw up. You know? I do know that I was obsessed with eating cold stuff. It was funny because like Alec, if he would go to, again, like Chick-fil-A and stuff, or he went to Sonic one time, I do remember. He went to Sonic one time and he like, he bought me a drink, and like, I mean, obviously I was throwing it up, but that ice, man, I loved eating ice or like cold, slushy stuff. Even if I would throw it up, like, it would make me feel better a little bit. I look back at a lot of pictures, and it's just like, you poor thing, like, you know, you didn't even expect to go through all this or have this, you know. But I do appreciate Alec, my family, my doctor more than anything, you know, because she was keeping up with me. She was keeping up with me, you know. If anything, towards the end, when we hit like third trimester to the point where we were gonna have Alina, like she was really happy to, you know, to see that my weight was going up and that I was eating and it looked better, you know. So I was just looking like a walking zombie. It was just a mess. It was just a mess, and like, if I could have explained better to, for instance, like the people that I work with, like at Nike, like, it would have been like, I'm sorry, but I cannot do a 2-week notice and still come and just keep going to the restroom to throw up, because that's all I kept doing. Just going to the restroom to throw up, is lying to other people that, like, you know, I feel like this, like, nobody else is gonna care, like, we're here to work, you know. So I was like, you know what, like, survival of the fittest, like, I have to just not show up. And that's what it was, you know. That's pretty much what it was. Like, I didn't get better up until the end, you know. But like I said, I don't feel bad or anything. I mean, I don't want y'all to think like, oh, she, like, you know, this is anything against Alina. Like, what does she have to do with it, you know? I'm just one of those unlucky people to get it. But then again, like I said, it all got better. It all got better, but in the beginning, it was a mess, like I said. Nobody wishes to throw up like 80 times a day, you know, for 6 months. Nobody wants to do that. Like, I could have understood like 2-3 max times in the morning and then like you're good later. Like, no, going through that like 10-15 times a day and just like being like laying in the bed, like if somebody just beat you up, like, yeah, it's definitely not something that even I would wish on my like own enemy. Like, nobody wants to go through that, you know, especially during pregnancy. Like, you're just supposed to be chilling and eating but that wasn't the case. That was not the case. Alright guys, that was all for today. I really hope that y'all enjoyed my story on my experience with Hyperemesis Gravidarum. If you do have this, please seek for help, because just like they told me that, you know, I could have potentially lost my daughter if I didn't get any food down my system. It could also happen to you, you know, where you can be told that if you have that, you know. But like I said, I do hope that you guys liked today's video. Stay tuned for more. And like I said, like, share, and subscribe.